Hello and welcome back to the Power of PD YouTube channel. My name is Erica Harrell and I support schools and ed consultants to design and deliver high quality, transformational, high impact professional development. And today I'm excited to chat about asynchronous learning, asynchronous professional development, and how to build community even when you're not in the space together all at once. So let's jump right in. Okay, before I get started with the 3 tools that you can use to build community, I want to make super clear what I mean when I say asynchronous learning, because we could all be coming in with different ideas of what exactly this is. So when I say asynchronous learning, I am talking about the learning, the professional development that you when folks are not with you in the space. Oftentimes, 100% of the time, you are recording this and they're watching it on their own time and they're going through the professional development at a different time than when you are recording it or delivering it. And so they're doing it asynchronously on their own. And this has definite pros and cons to it. So as a professional development facilitator, you might be a little bit worried, like, how am I going to build community? One of the things I do in my PD sessions is always build a community so that there is this group all working collectively around a common topic and common objectives and a common goal. Well, it can feel like, well, I don't have that during asynchronous time. But there are some ways that you can build community still. And so I'm going to talk to you about 3 tools. They're all technology that you can use to build community so that your learners can have other people that are with them going through this experience and they can learn with each other and from each other. So let's jump into tool number 1. Tool number 1 is Padlet. So Padlet is a website that you can use the free or paid version of, and you set up a Padlet where folks can respond to questions, share their thoughts, share a picture, share their work by taking a picture of their work and uploading it. But you, as the facilitator, would set up the Padlet. You can set it up. There's a number of different options for how you set it up. The one I most commonly use is columns. So I have a question, and then underneath the question, there's columns for people to respond in that column. And the cool thing about Padlet is that folks can comment and heart each other's posts. So you could use Padlet to allow folks to have a discussion, an asynchronous discussion, via using typing out their answers to questions. You could use Padlet to have people ask questions and respond to each other. You could use Padlet to ask people to share a reflection that they have and be able to chat and build community in that way. So that's tool number 1. Tool number 2 is a tool that I am quite certain everyone uses. It's Google Docs. You could use Google Docs in a similar way to Padlet, but you can use tables and bullets and all of that to make it organize it in the way that you want. But you would allow folks to join a Google Doc, go into the Google Doc and have a conversation. They could share about themselves. They could share about a challenge they're having and help and support each other. But this is just a community space and it's a simple Google Doc. The great thing about Google Docs is, like I said, most of us already use Google and use some version of it or some aspects of Google. And so the chances of you needing to explain that during your asynchronous training is very low. You can probably assume that most people will be able to jump right in and start engaging in the Google Doc, and you'll have that low barrier of entry. So tool number 2 is a simple Google Doc. Set it up so that folks can start to get to know each other, learn with and from each other. All right, our final tool is probably the one with the highest barrier of entry. It's called Mural. Miro. And this is a really, really cool tool. It does have free and paid versions, but it's pretty much whiteboard, but on your computer. So you can pull in images, you can use sticky notes. There are so many different features to be able to make this like an interactive space. If you wanted to have a discussion happen in Mural, you could put a picture of a table and chairs and allow each person to write their thoughts on a chair as if they were sitting there talking to each other. So obviously they're not, and obviously it won't be happening in real time, but your learners could go to Mural and see, what did all these different folks say who are sitting around the table with me? And let me leave my comment and comment to others. So there's endless possibilities with Mural. They have templates, they have different ideas, but that is tool number 3. Okay, before I wrap this up, I want to give you a very, very important tip. So I hope that you made it all the way to the end of this video. This tip is super important because during asynchronous learning, you won't be there real time when someone's engaging in your Padlet or on your Google Doc or on your Mural board. So you want to be clear about how you are monitoring it and be explicit in telling your learners that. So, for example, if you're providing asynchronous learning to a school and you suggest that the school engages in this learning on September 6th, I think that's the day after Labor Day. I highly doubt they would, but maybe September 6th, you would say, I will monitor this Padlet on September 6th or September 6th through 9th for the weeks. I think that's the week 10th maybe. And after that, I will not be monitoring this Padlet. And why this is super important is because you don't want them to assume that you've seen a comment that maybe warrants some type of response from you, whether it be a comment that was just like not appropriate or a really great question or someone who just is super confused. And you don't want them to think that, you know, Erica saw that comment, but she didn't say anything. So be sure to let them know when you are going to be monitoring your community building space. All right, that's all I have. Those are the 3 tools and a quick little important tip at the end. I would love, love, love to hear which of these you're going to try out during your next asynchronous professional development. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Leave your takeaways in the comments. Go ahead and follow me over at Instagram. I'm at Erica Hurrell Consulting because I'm always having conversations with educators over there, and I'd love for you to join me. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel so you know when the next one comes out. Until next time, keep embracing the power of PD.